Hey, how y'all doing, man? Once again, back again. Had to make another video. Today's gonna be about Juneteenth. Also, speaking on what's going on in Israel, Iran, the Ted Cruz, Tucker Carlson interview. We're gonna speak on that. We're gonna speak on Trump, Elon Musk, the fact that the Jeffrey Epstein story just went away like we knew it would. Because everybody is involved at the ruling class level. That means especially the media, people who own it and people who are a part of it. So, but we're gonna talk. We're gonna hit first and foremost with Juneteenth. So, celebrating Juneteenth. It's good. We need to. We need to speak on it. We need to stand up for it. And I'm glad that that became a recognized holiday. But it's not enough, as Kendrick Lamar would say. It's not enough. You know what I mean? We need reparations. We need to end the Black Genocide campaign. We need to end all forms of overt and covert warfare, racism, white supremacy, anti-Black racism, to end this Holocaust that's been going on. And this is good to have landmark days so we can check our status, check our checkpoint, check to see where we are on this great level master game that we've been living in. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we've won. That's what I'm saying. It's not good to always be woe as me. Oh, what if the blacks ever won? We suck and all that other dumb shit. No, it's good to check your checkpoints to be like, yeah, we've won tremendous victories. We've defeated slavery. We've ended Jim Crow formally, but and these are huge. These were huge systems that were meant to never die. You know what I'm saying? These were big. You know what I'm saying? Mass lynching in that form. You know what I'm saying? These are huge things that we stopped, not because of the goodness of the white folks. The white folks gave you freedom, nigger. That's what the lie they like to tell you. I mean, let me give you the true thing of how black people got free. They got free, number one, through the Seminole Wars, and then number two, in the Civil War, when America was fighting off against the Confederate States of America and their paymasters and handlers, the British Empire, which was the ruling power of that day. See how the U.S. American Empire is the empire of now. Back then it was the British. So they funded it because they always wanted to destabilize the U.S. So because the U.S. told them no. And fought against them. So the U.S. was getting their ass whooped in the first 2 years of the war. They was getting mollywopped and shit. And then there was a bunch of draft riots, and you can see it in that movie Gangs of New York, where the white folks didn't want to fight. So all that, we gave you freedom, nigger, and all that bullshit. They didn't want to fight in the North. So what happened? Lincoln was desperate. They were about to lose to the Confederate States of America. And the black Americans, Frederick Douglass and Martin Delany, the head negotiators, Martin Delany being the highest ranking black person, and Frederick Douglass being the great orator and great spokesman and just being the great leader of black America around that time. Same thing with Martin Delany. They were both negotiating with Lincoln to try to make black people enter the war. And they were creating stipulations that said that if we win this war for you, we will get an equal stake in this land, not just for the right to vote, but also economic justice, political justice, all of that. Not because they helped us. That's the lie narrative that they like to say. No, it's because we earned that shit. So black people in mass joined the war and changed the tide of the war. They won the war. The Confederates know it. That's why they were so mad after the war. And the Union generals spoke on it. Ulysses S. Grant and others were like, we would not have won this war without the black soldier, without black people, black men, especially. So for all the feminists out there who make it seem like the women always did everything every time. You know what I'm saying? It was black men who freed not only themselves, their women, and their fucking kids. So let's just put it on the record, man. Straight up. So, and they weren't on no selfish shit. They were trying to free the whole family and end it all so that there could be justice. And they're the reason why there's a 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, because of those negotiations by Frederick Douglass and Martin Delany, man. And that was supposed to also equate to 40 acres in a mule as well, which was supposed to be the equal stake in the land and political justice. That's why there were so many politicians who were black who were running and winning office seats. So many black cities. If you read that book, Up from Slavery, they talk about that were created. Remember, we had all the skills. We had the skills to pay the bills. We were the best. It wasn't just picking no fucking cotton, as they like to minimize it. Remember, everything in the society is meant to make black people look lowly and small as possible. But we were always tremendous. We were just stuck in slavery. But we had all the fucking skills. You go to those damn plantations that are around all over the U.S. They'll tell you the black people built that shit. They weren't just picking cotton. They were the architects, the brick masons. They were the engineers. They were the scholars. All of it, up and down. The whole society itself created by black people. And it wasn't just the mastermind whites were the ones in charge and they had the blueprints and all that. They didn't know what the fuck they was doing. It was the black folks doing that shit. It was the black folks who were running that shit. It was the black folks who built it. That's why Washington, D.C., Benjamin Banneker, black man. Also known as, that's why the clock in London is called the Big Ben, because he created the modern clock system, longitude and latitude, the time zones. It's so much, man. It's so much. But yeah, I digress. So, and that's just, there's so many inventions. Lewis Lattimore, telephone and the light bulb. You know, they like to give it to Alexander Graham Bell, which is bullshit. And then they like to give it to Thomas Edison, who stole it, which is bullshit. That's why Granville T. Woods had to sue him. That's how much of a fucking thief he was. That even the crackers back in racist Jim Crow was like, nah, this black man did that shit. That's how you know that shit was bullshit. If in racist Jim Crow they're siding with the Negro, then damn, bro, that means your shit, you was mega stealing. So yeah, well, back to Juneteenth and all of that. Juneteenth is a celebration of black people freeing themselves. Juneteenth is a celebration of also as well when in Texas they tried to not let the black people who were free get free. The soldiers came in, black soldiers, who were running the show basically, who were winning these battles and taking over and doing tremendous work, went in there and helped to let them know, like, hey, you are free now in Galveston. So don't ever let them tell that lie about what built America, what saved America. Not only did we build the nation, we saved it when it was going to be broken up into the British Confederate States of America. Word, straight up, word to Lord Palmerston, who was the architect of the British Empire's mastered brinksmanship. He's the Zbigniew Brzezinski of that era. You know what I'm saying? The grand chessboard bullshit, all that. That's what, you know what I'm saying? The geopolitical head honcho of that day. So I digress. Go ahead and look up what I'm talking about, too. Go ahead and look that shit up. Go ahead and look up Zbigniew Brzezinski, Grand Chessboard, so you get your geopolitical acumen up. Go ahead and look up Lord Palmerston, if you don't know who that is, of that era. And if we had known our history, like I said before, we would have been able to counteract. I'm jumping around a little bit, but it's all going to tie in. If we had learned our history enough and stayed on it and looked at this thing like a global game, like a geopolitical super chess match, we would be able to see that the 80s crack era was nothing more than a 19th century opioid war that they did on the Chinese. They just brought that shit back, but then put it in the hyperdrive by hitting us with a chemically weapon that would decimate our community on purpose. That's same ruling classes that's involved back then is involved right now. Same families, man. Same. It hasn't changed. Same. So, and why is that important to say? Because it's good. Like I said, we ended slavery. We ended fellow Jim Crow. We ended the formal sense of the Black Genocide Campaign and that stage of the game and that level. This is just, like I said, one big game. So yeah, and the game at one point was even harder, quote unquote, in a different form of being hard. It's hard right now because we're in the deception part of the game where for a while we thought everything was equal, everything was the same, and all you had to do is just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and Jim Crow is over, so that means now you have an equal stake, so it's up to you and all that. But it was always bullshit. They just used the illusion of inclusion and deceptive warfare and made it, and then threw a bunch of others in there to make you seem like you're not doing enough. But back to what I'm saying about Juneteenth. We freed ourselves, and what was supposed to be done was equal political stake, all our towns being built, and us getting 40 acres and a mule. What happened was what you had to deal with over the next 100 years, which was the Black Codes, the Great Betrayal of 1877. Go ahead and look that up. Which is what the same situation that we're in right now. Everything that we're dealing with comes in that 12-year time period from us freeing ourselves out of slavery up until the Great Betrayal. Everything we're dealing with has to do with all of that right there. Because in that time period, we were supposed to get what we had earned, not no handout, not no, you just don't want to work hard, nigger, all that bullshit, rhetoric, bullshit, put yourself up by your bootstrap shit. Ugh. No, we had earned that shit. We had won the war. Without us, there would not be a United States built and saved by Black Americans, foundational Black Americans. And if you want to be specific to which group it is we have a whole gender war for reasons that have been co-opted by the ruling class again, and then a lot of our women have fallen for it. We'll go specifically the black man, the lazy black man who don't want to do nothing, whatever bullshit, feminist, anti-black rhetoric that's out there, bullshit. So, once again, won it all, and then we're supposed to free, and not freeing just ourselves. We ain't on no selfish. It's just our gender, males. We're freeing everybody: the elderly, the middle age, the young adults, the children, the teenagers, the women, the men, the children, all of that. And it was supposed to be 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment, which we got, and then reparations. A lot of it was vetoed by Andre Johnson, who would never have become president. He only became president because they assassinated Lincoln, and a lot of evidence goes to the British Empire because a lot of those Confederate people who were involved in the assassination fled to British Canada. Same thing that happened almost a couple decades earlier when Aaron Burr assassinated Alexander Hamilton and then fled to British Canada because he was a British agent. That came out later. I think he even went back to the British Empire. But I digress. Go. Everything I'm saying, look it up. Please look it up, man. That's what I'm saying. If you don't know, it's just gonna be a lot of information. Like what? Whoa. You know what I'm saying? Because you haven't gotten access to this. I've done, I've done the same history that y'all know. I learned that shit, but then I went in deep. I learned the extra history. I learned the next level stuff. I like to give y'all a couple names to get y'all started. Dr. Webster Tarpley, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Dr. Naeem Akbar, and those just start the baseline, and then the universe will just pull you where you need to go. Basically, it just happen like that. Oh yeah, and I can't forget Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. That's the real one right there. Shout out to you, Van. So, but like I was saying, we freed ourselves out of slavery, Jim Crow. We did all of that, but the game is not over because there's still the Black Genocide campaign being pushed out on all different levels, basically. And they've extended it to, which they've always done, which is the 1% versus the 99%. But I'll get to that in a second when I start going to the more geopolitical general shit with the Ted Cruz interview with Tucker Carlson and Israel and all that Iran shit. But back to what I was saying. So we freed ourselves out of slavery. Then the Great Betrayal happened. What's the Great Betrayal? The Great Betrayal of 1877 was duly elected black people were subject to overt terrorism and what can be called a coup d'etat in the United States, where their duly elected positions that they won democratically were co-opted and sacked down. White folks all over the defeated South, and those Northerners who were bitter that that the black folks had did something and they were going to lose their status, quote unquote, their ill-gotten inordinate status that was only vis-a-vis brought about because black people built shit for you, and then that they were getting the things that they built back and taking over because they had all the skills to pay the bills and the acumen to put their mind to use. And politically get elected, economically get right, socially get in power, and in all forms, they created a deal. The North and the South created a deal. It was a hotly contested election, and they said, "We will we will remove the troops out of the South, because the South had been occupied post-slavery, and you can do with your niggas as you please. That's quote unquote 1877. Go look that shit up. And then vis-a-vis, so they sacked black cities. Wilmington is an example of them sacking it. Durham, North Carolina is an example of them sacking it. And all 20, 30 prosperous black towns all over the United States were sacked systematically. I bet by the people at the top working with the masses of white folks. The same white folks who want to be now talk about, yeah, we're not the real problem. The problem is the elites. yeah, but y'all somehow form an alliance when it has to do with the black folks. Y'all somehow, all that ruling class and all the Illuminati and all that, y'all form like Voltron. Y'all already lockstep with the ruling class when it's time to get some niggas. For real. Straight up and down. And we just cooking. We cooking right now. So that's what happened. Betrayal of 1877. So reparations was not done. All of these things that were done because were supposed to be done because we had won and basically basically won the nation. So truth be told, if our mindset had been right, we could have been like, you know what? We don't trust these white people to do right. Their history is slavery. What makes you think they're gonna actually? That's another thing too. We do too much of. After we get over certain victories, we start celebrating too soon, like we won it. We need to get over that. We start winning certain battles and shit like that, or big conglomerate systems. We start chilling. That's what we did in slavery. That's what we did after Jim Crow. Oh shit, Jim Crow's over. Oh, free at last, free at last. And we start chilling, and the enemy's like, got your ass. Trying to Hulk back up, motherfucker. Trying to get Hulk Hogan on you. Trying to hawk up on you. What you gonna do, nigger? You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, he's racist, so it's apropos, right? Brother, nigger. So, anyway, I digress. Let's get back to the main point. So, back to the main point. So, betrayal, then Jim Crow. And, if we had been smart, we would have peeped game that these Caucasians of the Caucasus Mountain persuasion cannot be trusted, and they will always do what they've been doing, which is shake your hand smiling, acting friendly, and then betraying you in the end. That's the play. We haven't studied them enough, so we haven't been able to peep game, and we have such an emotional intelligence of a infant adopted child. Like, oh, we have such a different strokes mentality that we just want to get some loving, some hugging, some friendship. We have such a subordinate mindset and a low self-esteem collectively that we fall for that shit. We keep falling for it. And they play good cop, bad cop on us. They got the right wingers, nigga, I'm gonna kill you and lynch you. And the white folks, hey, yes, come to me. I'm not gonna do anything. I just want to love you. We just want to come together. Got him. Then the one that's hugging you is secretly draining blood from you, and you feeling weaker every 45 minutes. They drain it. I feel a little woozy. It's okay. I love you. It's okay. I love you. I love you. And meanwhile, by the 10th year, your ass, you done, bruh. That's what I'm saying. We got both sides are complicit. Matter of fact, the left wingers help to set up so it's easier for the right wingers to do mop up duty. Keep it a beam. Is that not what's going on in the last 50 years? Before we gave our souls to the left wingers, we were strong. And that doesn't mean turn into the right winger. I'm saying we should have gave our souls to ourselves and built our own party up. And if one party failed, damn it, have the balls to build another one and another one and another one until you defeat those who are defeating you. So after that, you see what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So after all that, they weakened us after Jim Crow, 50 years of gender warring, class warfare, everything's all good, bullshit, immigration, miseducation, mass incarceration, drug wars, sex revolution, destruction of the traditional black family structure, moral degeneracy, not lack of respect, just an overall warping of the community, basically, to get it from it being positive to it being negative, to further justify the genocide campaign that they were already waging in the first place. But now they flipped it to make the good guys look like the bad guys and the bad guys look like the good guys. Why do you think they're rehabilitating all the enemies and bad people in movies now? Not an accident. They want people to believe, they want people to have the mindset that hell is good, heaven is evil, God is bad, the devil is good. Is that not what you're hearing in the music? Fiend, and I give my soul to the devil. Like, you know what I'm saying? Die, die, die music. That's not an accident. The ruling class is is ruled by that. You know what I'm saying? That's their energy. Their energy aligns themselves to negativity and evil and devilment. It's not just happenstance. Oh, this is just music. Why they put so much money in if it's just music? They want your dumb ass to think it's just music, so you keep going along with the shit. And you don't want to critically think as well because you're too scared to do anything about it. That's another thing that comes down to it. Not only is it ignorance, it's also fear. But damn it, you got to get over that fucking fear. Because damn it, we're going to be living in some serious times where your ass going to have to stand up for what's right. You're going to have to be about that action. You can't have no little nuts, but you got to come with some big balls, boy. You got to be big timing, big game, big bank, take little bank. That's what time it is right now. And the cracker is saying we have a little bank, even though they know we got a big bank right now. That's what all this is about, man. That's what you're seeing on a mass scale right now. But I'm not done. I'm still going on when it comes to what's been happening. So, mass lynchings, Jim Crow. Then you had mass incarceration. You had the school defunding all the black schools, making you go to the white racist schools so you can lower your self-esteem. Not putting the equal funds in the black schools, because that's what Brown v. Board was about. That Brown v. Board was a co-op. The original Brown v. Board was supposed to be black people getting equal money for their schools as the white schools, so that we can have our own. It's not about assimilating to the enemy. It's about us having our own. It's about us being in charge. It's about us having what is rightfully ours and having it in our own communities. Not being taken over by the enemy so that they monitor us and then fucking warp our kids and have them doing things against their own interests. Is that not what we're seeing right now? Go ahead and look at the Z generation. Do the Z generation look like anybody that's about to stand up for something righteous? They slashed out. The girls want to be boys, the boys want to be girls, they want to merge with robots, they ass in the house, all AI'd and video gamed out, they warped, they ain't standing up for shit. They want to be multicultural with everybody, they want to assimilate, they don't even want to stand up for no blackness. They think they something else. I'm an avatar. They been technocratic out right now. They've been iRobot out. And it only took one generation. That's what's even crazier. If you look at all the movies that were coming out in the millennial era, Matrix, iRobot, Terminator, Divergent, Hunger Games, all these warning movies, basically, that were next level revolutionary. What we've had, and the cartoons too, were teaching a story, good guy versus bad guy, having morals, integrity. All the stuff that's come out post that time period, when it comes to the music, hell, even the music, millennial rappers, J. Cole, Kendrick, Nipsey, Big Sean, Wale, Meek, like these people they may have had some other shit, but a lot of them had consciousness, blackness, goodness in their rhyming. You being rags to riches story. Do you hear? If you listen to what the sound that's coming out right now, and this ain't nothing but enemy infiltration and possession by white music conglomerates infecting our black music. You listen to the rap that's out right now, that's not rap. That is gothic punk rock. You see how they had their hair is changed in all different colors. They successfully merged the sound so you wouldn't notice. But that's punk rock shit. And then if you still on that, over masculinized self-destructive shit, they got Kodak and you don't need to, to be on the drug dealer, get yourself caught up in the system bullshit. They got the same old for those who are still like that, but for the masses who are on some new age shit, you know what I'm saying? They got that for you. The techno, I'm the black friend bullshit. Your hair pink, you don't know, you got your nails painted as a dude, as a girl, you're wearing G.I. Joe boots, you're in full fatigue, you're feminized, you're masculinized, and as the male, you're feminized. It's a whole warp game right now. You've been degendered like they did on the slave plantation. You've been re-enslaved, but under the yoke and under the auspicism of it being new, transformative, positive, empowering. This ain't new. We just ain't studied the history. That's why I'm teaching it right now for those who don't know it. This has already been happening. It already happened. Just the only difference is they've allowed you to think that technological advancement means that you have an advance. Technological advancement does not mean human advancement. Human advancement means moral elevation, providing a new lease on life, the meiotic system of justice, righteousness. You know what I'm saying? All of that. Go ahead and look up the Mayat in the meiotic system, truth, justice, reciprocity, all of that. The greatest truths, heaven on earth. Because the enemy's creating his heaven, which is hell on earth. That's another thing too. And everything being backwards and upside down and switched. That's what hell is. Hell is everything's backwards and flipped. That's why they're setting the preconditions up here like the way they are right now. But nobody's paying attention, man. Nobody's paying attention. So back to what I was saying. So after we celebrated and thought we won everything during Jim Crow, what's the first thing they did after we quote unquote were winning? First, they assassinated all the political leaders who could have been prevented and been speaking out against it. So all the Malcolms, Huey P. Newmans, Fred Hamptons, all of that were either incarcerated, killed, or exiled. Then what they do after that? They started doing the school systems differently. Private schools to cut the black community out. They started making sure that they ghettoized the communities. Remember, a lot of these communities were nice and looked good, clean. They made sure to ghettoize it and not be black owned anymore. It was then taken over by a foreign entity. Ghetto is a Jewish word. That means that the Jews were the overlords, as well as Anglo and WASP, and also other immigrant groups who run your stores and run what governs your community. They run the drug trade. They run the weapons trade in your community that makes it gentrified. They run your kids' mind too. All that shit that your kid like what the white folks done told for your kid to like. Your kid ain't even your kid. Your kid is the cracker kid. For real. Your kid is owned by them. Yeah, sure, the people that they may be influenced by are black, but they're black with a white mind because the white people own them. They own the clothes that they make. They own that jewelry. They own that music that your kid listens to. They own that movie that your kid loves to rewatch 50 times and think that that's how you be black. No, that's how you be white, and that's how you continue perpetuating white on black violence, quote unquote, as seen as black on black violence. Word to Dr. Amos Wilson, black on black crime is white on black crime. Because the same self-destructive mentality that's being perpetuated by these people who have, number one, been given low self-esteem, economic castration, miseducation, are perpetuated by the white society, and these people then enact and remote controlly act on shit that they don't even know about for real. It's a sophisticated game. Drugs, guns, education, self-esteem. You don't care about nothing. You're wanting what you see as objects of value, which are outside of yourself. All of that is done, and then you commit said crime because all the preconditions were set up by the outside. Now, do you need to, on an individual level, put your best foot forward and make sure that you can fall up out of that? Yes, of course. But that does not negate the overarching collective system that is meant to make sure that the masses do not get that and do not ever receive that, or are not able to quantify and really digest and transform out of that. And that's a fact, man. That is a fact. And I'm glad I'm able to speak on that. So we have all of that. So then you have the drug war. So massive drugging in the community, which are all forms of counter-revolution. Remember, During the 50s and 60s, we had the Black Power Revolution. So the enemy had to come up with a way to further crush us, but make it look like we're doing it to ourselves. So what they do: miseducation, economic castration, mass incarceration, drug wars, women's revolution, and sexual revolution. So they started being, oh yeah, you can fuck anything you want now, black man. Hell, you don't even have to be a man, black man. Go ahead and be a woman now. Tyler Perry, go ahead and put on that dress. You started seeing that as the norm now. Oh, traditional families. You don't need no traditional family. Go ahead and live, be you, self, individual. You, me, I, ego, lower self. They made sure to put that in. They made sure to enact that. And that's why you see whole generations now. You got people who are 60 and 70 years old acting like they 10. You think that's a fucking accident? That ain't no damn accident. The enemy been working hard, boy. And you gotta give, fuck that, I ain't getting no salute. Fuck y'all for doing that shit. Now you got podcasts called Auntie where there's 60, 70, 80-year-old women who are just a bunch of whores and sluts and tramps giving advice to the young ones. You think that's by accident? That's my fucking design, bruh. To make sure that the young ones start imitating the degenerate behavior of the old ones. Because they already done co-opted the old ones. When it used to be the elders were trying to give wisdom of positivity and uplift. Same thing too with the males. You see a Shannon Sharp and shit. The elders are on some bullshit at this point right now. And they're corrupting the youth because the youth are seeing that and say, well, the elders are on that, so why not me? Shit. You was doing that, so why I can't? I'm living. Shit, I see what you on. And to the youth, I understand. Monkey see, monkey do. But you have a responsibility as well to see what is right from wrong and to not follow in what is wrong. To create a new lease on life and junk over the old folks who are doing wrong. Same thing too to the elders. It's not time to, oh shit, let me get back to what I didn't do when I was in my 20s. Nah, you are elder now. It's time to now give that wisdom. Step into your divine role. That's another thing too. They have successfully destroyed the roles. And they made it seem like it was bad to have a fucking role. You gotta give it up to the ruling class, bro. I swear to God, you gotta give it up to the ruling class. Because they have created a system of straight up controlled chaos. And the people who are being victimized the most think that they're the most free. Damn. I'm cooking right now. I swear to God I am, bro. So, they created a chaos era. Now all the roles have been co-opted. Hell, if you even speak on roles, the women will call you a misogynist. What's wrong with you being in your divine feminine? So the males can be in the divine masculine, so we can fight this damn devil and this beast. And the elders could be in their divine role so they can give the wisdom. And the youth can be in their divine role so that they can have that power, that leadership, and stand up for what's right. And be youth. And be protected and not be exploited and not think that they're adults. So then the corrupted evil can exploit the youth. That's where the roles come in. So things are defined, so that things are set up in place, so that things don't get co-opted as they are right now. That's why the fuck the enemy is calling game right now on us right now. Hell, they about to, if we ain't careful, about 5 years, they about to pass pedophilia and your jits finna be getting grabbed off the fucking street. That's straight up and down. They've already been trying. Remember I mentioned Jeffrey Epstein at the beginning of this. Notice after one day of the Jeffrey Epstein name coming out, it went away. Nobody's even talking about it. Hell, most of the people ain't even talking about it. Your thought leaders, they ain't even mentioning it. Because it's so sophisticated that they got y'all ass warped. See what I'm saying? This is what we dealing with, man. This is what we dealing with. So this is the great game, bro. So that's what they did. So they destroyed you even wanting a role. Hell, you don't need a role. You define whatever you want to define. Hell, as a guy, you could be a girl. As a girl, you could be a guy. As a youth, you could be an adult. As an elder, you could be the youth. Is that not what we're seeing right now? And what is the community if not in chaos right now? What is the community if not in chaos? If we were not out and about holding the shit together, god damn it, the cracker would already and the ruling class would already have been calling game. They'll already be having mass pedal trucks rolling into different communities, being able to grab motherfuckers off the street. I'm talking kids 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, and nobody not giving a fuck. That's real shit. That's real shit. I'm speaking truth. What the enemy wants. They want to be able to do whatever the fuck they want to do, like it is in hell. Do all manner of evil and get away with it. Shit's no law. You're free. That's their version of freedom. No, the version of our freedom is righteousness. It's us being free from tyranny, free from evil, the good prevailing, economic justice. People will be able to have a standard of living so that they can live free and accomplish the dreams that they were already meant to accomplish even before they were even born. That's our version of freedom. Y'all version of freedom is devilment. And we calling that shit, I'm calling it truth to the power right now. And I ain't stopping. This video might be an hour, 2 hour long. We're going to keep rocking, bro. And y'all keep rocking with this because I'm spitting straight gospel on that Khalid Muhammad level. Shout out to Juneteenth, boy, for real. Hey, the universe got me today. I'm on one right now. And it's not, the lid ain't being shut off. I can't stop. So we're going to keep going. We're going to keep rocking. So, drug wars. They brought in the drugs. Hell, you already know. They got exposed during Iran-Contra. Now they're making movies and hit shows about it. Nobody's going to jail who set the whole game up, but the lowly person who was forced to do it. So, mass incarceration. So, either you were drugged out, you were selling the drugs, or you were a victim of the drug wars. Economic castration, broken families, miseducation, gender wars, the women's revolution, and sex revolution. So traditional black family gone. So now you had the single parent household by women. I'm not disrespecting the women at all. Shout out to y'all, because imagine if there was no parents. Imagine how worse it would be. But the leadership, the traditional structure comes from the males. Without that, you got structure coming from other people. Even if you think you're a masculine woman, to be masculine in a woman is an oxymoron. You know what I'm saying? And feminism is not an original black auspices ideology. It comes from white women. It comes from the devil system. It comes from them. It comes from Gloria Steinem and them. It comes from the white female slave master who were hardcore anti-black women. You think they would give you a doctrine that would uplift you? No, it's a doctrine that will poison you and make you think that you're being elevated when you're really truly being degraded. They're fattening you up for the slaughter. As you do the devil's bidding and you make that devil mark, they'll turn on you. Is that not what you're seeing right now? Is that not what they were about to start doing during Joe Biden's second term? If they had a chance to, they were already trying to start doing it. Remember after Kamala won and she became vice president, and then y'all thought y'all was finna get a black woman to be her replacement, and what did the cracker do to let you know what it was, that your position was just temporary? It was just meant to bring down your own community, specifically your men, to do the bidding for them, and then they were gonna turn on your ass next because they don't fuck with you or your kid. What they do next? They ain't replaced Kamala's position with a black woman. They replaced it with a Hispanic male. I remember that. I remember the black women were fucking stunned. Like they were stunned at 2016 after Kamala won. After Trump won. And they found out that their white women counterparts voted their race over their gender. You're the only one playing this game because you're their pawn. You can't put a black spin on. You can't throw black guys and say, well, we're gonna have black feminism. It's an oxymoron. You're black in look, but you're white inside. Feminism is the white woman's manifesto. Why do you think it's so anti-black and anti-male? Our male specifically, and they anti the white man. Because when Becky come home, Becky on code. You saw it twice. They make sure to show you again with the next Trump election. Hold on, you ain't think we was for our race again? One more time, please. Boom. One more time. Let's show what the white women about. And oh no, well, it's the white women. All of the women are on code with their group. You the only one thinking you could sell out real quick. That goes too for the class. That goes for everybody who thinks that they are a slash in something else in our community. And word to Tupac, you're a nigga, a bitch, a hoe, a thug until you set this shit right. You ain't nothing to them but a pawn in the game, and you're being used against your own interests. even if you get a payout, hell, the enemy gets rewarded for doing bad. Just because you get a reward don't mean it's good. You know what I'm saying? Hell, if you sell out and rob your mama's house, and then the person you're with that helps you to rob them gets you some cut, you got rewarded for the cut. Was it good? Use your damn brain. That's what I'm saying, man. This is what we dealing with right now. This is what we dealing with, man. This is what we dealing with. That's why I think I had to make this speech today. Because damn it, we need somebody to speak some sense into all this. Because there's been a lot of shit plays happening. And people just been on remote control. Social engineering is strong, and I understand. I get it. You working 9 to 5. You got bills. You're living your life. You know what I'm saying? And they keep you bogged down in survival mode on purpose too. That's another part of the game. So you can't think. You can't fight back. You'll go along with the get along just to survive. But damn it, it's time to not survive. It's time to fucking live. And that's why I'm here. So back to what I was saying. Drug revolution. Mass incarceration of the black man. Destruction of the traditional family structure. The miseducation of the women. Feminism into the black community, being the pawn for the white female slave master, which, by the way, 60% of all the slave masters were women. Remember, George Washington's wife had more money than him. Remember, she had more slaves than him, and she refused to get rid of the slaves. So, just something. And then, what was another thing that let me know, that let a lot of males know, that one of the most important cases that every man. If I swear to God, that was one of the realest cases. I thank God for that. I don't thank God that happened, but I thank God for the revealing of what was going on. The 2019-2018 Amber Geiger case. You talk about a case that really opened a lot of black males' eyes, bruh. Opened a lot of black people's eyes in general to how deadly and poisonous feminism is in our community. This is a case of a white woman killing a black man. Right? And that's bad enough. But the punk ass brother, youth, and 5 black women, the mother, the bailiff, the police chief, the judge, and the juror, all women, black women, got on code and tried to buck dance for that white woman, stroking her hair, giving her legal advice, talking about Botham Jean wouldn't want her to get the full charges. This is when we saw what had been capsulized come to life. The poison had now sprouted roots. The weeds have now grown in the garden now. I had never seen that before in my life. Then I had to learn from the masters who she was a slave owner too. The man not and shit like that. I had to learn books, started reading books and peeping game and tapping into Jerzad Ali and shit like that. That was the realest case ever because that exposed just how white supremacist the feminist movement is. And I'm talking about white supremacy in our women's minds. Even overarching, even over even over the white women's feminism, because they were doing gymnastics for that. It was amazing, bro. But I digress. So back to that. So then after that, you had so after the mass incarceration, economic castration. Oh, I didn't go to the deindustrialization of the U.S. Sorry, I apologize. It's been so much, you see how much stuff has been happening all at once. Deindustrialization of the U.S. So before, the U.S. was a high-skill, high-wage job. You know what I'm saying? Most of the people didn't have to go to college, and they would have 8 to 12 people and their kids, and they would still be able to put food on the table for them. The cost of living was down and stuff like that, and they had high wage jobs, manufacturing, high skill, high wage. What was done on purpose? Number one, to stop the FDR wave of the unions and the rise of the middle class, but also what was done as well, because a lot of these were inner cities as well, occupied by black men specifically. First thing that was done as well was they deindustrialized, but another thing that was done too is they introduced the women in the workforce. Traditionally, The women were not in the workforce. That was only done to co-opt the black male who was fighting for equal wages, equal rights, protections, and fighting to be treated human on the workforce. So they was like, oh, hell no. So they made sure to, number one, co-opt them with their white women, and then co-opted with immigrant labor, and then co-opted with another labor, our women in the workforce as well. All of this is an attack on the black male labor force. See what I'm saying? There's been a lot done, bro. There's been a lot. And then because the 1% hates the 99% and want everybody to live in feudal states, they deindustrialize the black community. Oh, no, not only black community, they deindustrialize the entire United States because they hate the FDR New Deal. They hate the fact that there's social mobility, and they want like I said, everybody to live in a feudal state, feudal Europe. That's their dream. They want to get back there. Actually, no, sorry, it's beyond feudal Europe. They want everybody to live in hell. That's their dream. They probably get real shit. They probably have orgy sessions off of dreaming about having people live in degradation in hell. That's not even hyperbole, for real. So yeah. What else? Where we at? So yeah, the industrialization. And then while I'm mentioning the New Deal, we have to continue also speaking on the fact of, because they hate the New Deal, they hate the economic policies, this affects everybody of the 99%, but specifically black folks the most, because we are, number one, under a oligarchical and a clockwork system. So we have the few, and then we have the masses of white folks who are systematically against black folks, not individuals, not them being nice and shit. Hey, nigga, I opened the door for you, so hey. Or hey, nigga, I gave you a job that I have the opportunity to grant you or deny you for. You shouldn't even have the opportunity because you didn't build the nation. See what I'm saying? See how fucked up they make it? They like, word to Steve Coakley. Steve Coakley saw a commercial where Michael Jordan had a sandwich, and he was like, Larry Bird was like, hey, I'll play you for it. And I was like, hold on, what'd you say? I'll play you for it. The damn cracker will make you play it for your own damn sandwich. So what'd you win? That's the name of trick. That's the name of the tricknology right there. You know what I'm saying? Play me for it. This is my sandwich. Get your own. And no, but us will be like, yeah, sure. You know what I'm saying? We'll buy into it. So, and then if we win, I won my own sandwich. If we lose, dang, I just lost my sandwich that didn't belong to him in the first place. Like, oh, okay, you won, but this don't give you rights to my sandwich. Well, you said you played before. We got to treat them the way they treat us. Too many times we're going along with the technology game. So back to what I was saying. So they hate the New Deal. They hate economic mobility. So they hate the social safety net, economic bill of rights, which should have been done back in the late 40s. But they should have poisoned FDR. That's another story for another day. Go ahead and look that up as well. So that's word to Joseph Stalin, by the way, who said that to FDR's son. So go and look these up. So, anyways, so we are so this is the great game that we're dealing with. So after all of that, you've had warfare enraged on the population, the abolishment of welfare, deindustrialization, union busting, deregulations of the top banking cartels, which helped to destroy the American society during the 1920s, that gave rise to the whole New Deal and breaking up the major banking cartels. All that was deregulated so that they can run wild and do derivative speculation, destroy the real economy by parasitizing on it. So this is what we've been having. That's why you hear so much about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a scam. The person who has the most money can basically leverage the whole Bitcoin. So once they pull their money out, your stock goes down, and too bad if you lose everything. So I digress. But and this is the game that they play. So you had all that. So then after the deindustrialization, mass incarceration, miseducation, the youth running wild because they don't got no daddy, they don't got nobody to teach them right from wrong, and stuff like that, and their communities are being shoddied. What happened in the 90s? Starting in the 80s, what happened in the 90s? The start of gentrification, which means them waging economic warfare in black communities to make sure that they were put out of their homes that they had been living in for generations. Their communities would be taken over by foreign groups meant for hostility, meant to take over. And is that not what's happening right now in all the major cities? Miami, that was a project that's how they knew it would be successful. The starting project couldn't be set to Miami. 'Cause remember, Miami was a black community. Oh, y'all don't know that? Little Havana, that was a black area at one point. Oh, y'all don't know that? And then what did they do? They allowed, when Castro let out his jails and stuff like that, and the anti-Castro racist slave-owning Cubans. Oh, y'all ain't know Cuba was a slave colony? Oh, yeah, do your history. But yeah, when they let the anti-black slave-owning Cubans over to Miami, what was happening? They made a deal with them because they wanted to fight Castro, and they hated black people here, white people and the Cubans. White Cubans hate black people. So they, not just hate, they want to, hate is part of it, but it's also power dynamics. They wanted to destroy them, genocide campaign. So what did they do? They allowed them to get set-asides and push the black folks out of workforce, community, businesses all over Miami, and they gave Miami to the anti-Castro Cubans, as well as other Hispanic groups as well. Well, of course, they still run it. The Anglos have a higher stake, and so do the Jewish community, but they were given it, basically, and made to make it look, this is the great America melting pot. Meanwhile, the black people there are either were pushed out, where they had to leave the city, or pushed into ghettoized areas, or broken up and scattered, where they're not even in a community. They're just scattered all over South Florida, Dade and Broward and Palm Beach County, all by design. So they were like, we can do this everywhere. We're gonna do this everywhere. Atlanta, not the black Mecca no more, right? Y'all dumbasses think that you got that they're your dogs. The Chicos ain't your dogs. The Chicos are racist as fuck and can't wait to replace your ass. And the Chicos help to offset the wages too, because they're just happy to be here, and they're getting subsidized for being here. Getting all type of set-asides that Americans, especially black Americans, ain't even getting. Boom. So there goes the economic warfare, because while the price is being shot up because they can buy a lot of it, because they're getting subsidized for it, you got to pay that same price that you can't afford. So then you're in the junk heap. You're economically castrated, and then you're impoverished. And once you have no house, no stake, once you're homeless, you're not even human. Isn't that word to how they treat the homeless people right now? You go ahead and look at how they treat the homeless population everywhere. They're treated dehumanized. I know, I worked in the homeless shelter, helping out people, helping out families. They don't give a fuck about the homeless population. Hell, they want to get rid of them. They're probably doing it right now. Word to Blade 3. I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing human farming shit going on right now. For real. I just haven't really done a deep dive into it. But there have been shows and shit, showing shit that's just for entertainment. So, yeah. So yes, gentrification. And then also, too, sex revolution. Women, you don't have to like a man. Hell, you don't even have to be a man. I mean, you don't even have to be a woman. You could be a man. Hell, you could be, it's coming soon. You could be an avatar, transhuman. You know what I'm saying? You could be in a video game. It's coming soon. Don't worry. You could be a robot. Don't worry. It's coming soon. You know what I'm saying? You could be a cyborg. It's coming soon. Don't worry. You can live forever. It's coming soon. Don't worry. If it's not already here, every time I say it's coming soon, I don't, when I do the wrong thing of, I think that things are not as bad as they are. Because I'm optimistic. So, damn that. It's already here. It just hasn't been pushed out to the public yet. They're just trying to ease in the public because they know they still have a lot of stragglers who are against it. So they're trying to terraform the public. That's why the youth are being warped so well too. They're molded so well. You know what I'm saying? The youth are ready, boy. As soon as they click that bitch online, the youth finna be right ready to go, boy. Thinking that they're in a new age, or it's the same age, just transformed to create a society that's based on the doctrine of hell. That's real shit. But it's looked at as so sophisticated. That's the game. They make it look technologically so advanced and savvy on the outside, but inside it's rotten to its fucking core. They lower the moral bar while they raise the technological advances, so it tricks the mind. No, we are advancing. Look, we have flying cars. Meanwhile, they're junk throwing people out of the flying cars and killing them, and nobody's giving a fuck. Is that advancement? This is the game, bruh. This is the game. This is the game. Word to Dick Gregory, as he said, it's the game. Like, he got me saying that. R.I.P. Dick, man. Another master teacher that y'all should go and listen to. So we have all of that. So sex revolution, like I said, women, you don't even have to be a woman no more. You could be a man. Man, you see Lil Nas X, he in a dress, transhumanism, transforming. You're a woman now. They making you for you even speaking on a man trying to pretend to be a woman, you're bad. Is that not the game? This is all done in slavery, by the way. None of this is new. They just pushed it onto the mass. They just pushed it onto the masses. That's all that's happening right now. It's just on the main stage, basically. It's on the main event. It's the main event of WrestleMania now. It's not on the undercard. That's basically what's going on right now, man. That's basically what's happening. That's what's happening. That's what we've been seeing. That's what's going on. Oh, and don't worry, guys. Don't worry. It's not over yet. I mentioned transhumanism. There's other things coming too. You want to have relations with an animal? You want to have relations with a child? You don't see the Balenciaga commercials? Cuties, good boys. Jeffrey Epstein pedo ring that is cutting across all layers of the ruling class society: entertainment, music, banking, industry, conglomerates, hedge fund hyenas, sports world, everybody involved. Has anybody gone to jail en masse? All the political figures, all the major political figures know about it. Hell, they even had a nickname for it. It's called Pedo Island. They knew about it. All the Caribbean dignitaries. Was anything done? Judges? Nothing. It's just, hell, Elon Musk just mentioned it, and Jake Tapper was even scared to even mention it. He was, Jeffrey Epstein. They weren't even wanting to mention the shit. They didn't even want to mention it. They were scared to even mention it, man.